You're listening to The Changing Talks, a podcast that provides lessons to guide you in changing your future. My name is Christian C. Adrales, and I am an English major student at Capiz State University. Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gents, queers, broken, and happily in love. Welcome to my podcast, The Changing Talks, where my job here is to provide you lessons that might guide you in changing your future. Today, I am going to discuss to you a lesson topic in the technical writing course, and this is planning your documents. I am so glad that you are listening to my podcast at this moment. I know we are all busy in our own worlds. Some of us are working hard to earn money, finding balance between school and work. Others are in their rooms, locking up themselves because of the stress that life is giving them. Wherever you are, I just want to tell you that you are amazing. And I want you to keep on holding on, to keep on fighting, because that's the only way that we can win life. Please, I want you to make my podcast as a positive distraction in your day. You can still do other things while listening to my podcast. And that's one of the reasons why I made this as a podcast instead of a video where you can see me. So you can do multitasking. But also, please, I want you to stay and listen very well on my discussion because these will help you in changing your future. Before we start, I'd like to read to you my lesson objectives for this topic. At the end of the lesson, the students will be able to identify best options for organizing information to satisfy so many different people. State the three principles in organization. Learn and apply the ABC format for documents. Understand why it is important to plan your documents. Alright, let's start our discussion with the options for organization. We have here a figure for the options for organizing information. If you're just listening to my voice right now, I want you to get back on my video because I think you need to see the figure so you would understand it better. If you have noticed, we have three options for different types of readers. And these readers are the experts, operators, managers, and general readers. So in the option A here, organize information for technical readers. Writers who choose option A direct their writing to the most technical people. And these technical people are those experts and operators. In option B, organize information for less technical readers. Option B is the one that responds to the dilemma of a mixed technical audience by finding the lowest common denominator. That is, they write to the level of the least technical person. Each option satisfies one segment for readers. In the third option, the option C, organize information for all readers. Option C is preferred in technical communication for mixed readers. It encourages you to organize documents so that all readers, both technical and non-technical, get what they need. So in option C, it is for all types of readers. It can be experts, operators, managers, and general readers. Moving on to the next topics where they will provide us the strategies for developing those options that we have discussed. We are going to describe the general principles of organization and guidelines for organizing entire documents, individual document sections, and paragraphs. Let's continue the lesson to the next topic, which is the three principles of organization. So, a good organization starts with careful analysis of their audience. Most readers are busy and they skip around as they read. Think about how you examine a news organization's website or a weekly news magazine. You are likely to take a quick look at articles of special interest to you. Then you might read them more thoroughly if there is time. That approach also resembles how your audience treats technical reports and other work-related documents. If important points are buried in long paragraphs or sections, busy readers may miss them. So these three principles respond realistically to the needs of your readers. We have here another figure for the technical readers who use a speed read approach that includes steps. Step 1. Quick scan. Readers scan easy-to-read sections like executive summaries, introductory summaries, introductions, table of contents, conclusions, and recommendations. They pay special attention to beginning and end sections, especially in documents longer than a page or two and to illustrations. In step 1, readers quick scan a document. For example, when we are finding a good book to read, we read first the brief summary or the table of contents so that we will know if this book will interest us or will be essential for us, or to know how much time will it take me or you to finish this book. Step 2. Focused search. Readers go directly to parts of the document body that give them what they need at the moment. To find information quickly, they search for navigation devices like subheadings, listings, and white space in margins to guide their reading. In step 2, readers focus on searching key points or keywords that they need to find out. Step 3. Short follow-ups. Readers return to the document when time permits to read or reread important sections. In step 3, we reread to recall a text that we might have missed or just to make the text crystal clear to us. Principle 2. Emphasize beginnings and endings. When we read a suspense fiction book, it usually gets our attention when we find it mysterious. So we keep on reading it to find some clues because usually a writer drops hints throughout the narrative before finally revealing a particular element or an important happening to a character in the story. This kind of genre relies on the interest and patience of readers to piece together important information. However, in technical communication, it operates differently because busy readers expect to find information in predictable locations without having to search for it. This is because time is very important for them, so they don't need to read a lengthy text just to find the right information. They need a document to be comprehensible. Technical readers have first choice locations for important information. These are the beginning of the entire document, the beginnings of report sections, the beginnings of paragraphs. Emphasizing beginnings and endings responds to the reading habits and psychological needs of readers. At the beginning, they want to know where you are heading. They need a simple roadmap for the rest of the passage. In fact, if you do not provide something important at the beginnings of paragraphs, sections, and documents, readers will start guessing the main point themselves. At the ending, readers expect some sort of wrap up or transition. Your writing should not simply drop off. So we have here an example paragraph that emphasizes a beginning and an ending. If you have noticed, there are sentences that are italicized. They are the beginning and ending of the paragraph. So in the beginning, already depleted sea turtle, marine mammal, seabird, and non-commercial fish populations are endangered by incidental capture in fishing gear. So in this beginning of a paragraph, it already provides us what it is all about. The beginning of this paragraph gave us the two topics of the paragraph, which are the marine animals are endangered because of incidental capture in fishing gear. Taken together, overfishing, bycatch, and habitat destruction are changing relationships among species in food webs and altering the functions of marine ecosystems. The last sentence flows smoothly from the paragraph body by reinforcing the main points about overfishing. Principle 3. Repeat key points. Now that we have learned different people focus on different sections of a document, sometimes no one carefully reads the entire report. For example, managers may have time to read only the summary, whereas technical experts may skip the lead-off sections and go directly to meaty or most essential technical sections with supporting information. These varied reading patterns require a redundant approach to organization. You must repeat important information in different sections for different readers. Your strategic repetition of a major finding, conclusion, or recommendation gives helpful reinforcement to readers always searching for an answer to the so what question as they read. Now we are ready to be more specific about how the three general principles of organization apply to documents, document sections, and paragraphs. Moving on to the format for technical documents. This format is called the ABC format for documents. Technical documents should assume a three-part structure that consists of a beginning, a middle, and an end. This book labels this structure the ABC format for abstract, body, and conclusion. Visually think of this pattern as a three-part diamond structure as shown in this figure. The abstract, a brief beginning component, is represented by the narrow top of the diamond. which leads into the body. The body, the longer middle component, is represented by the broad, expansive portion of the diamond figure. Conclusion, a brief ending component is represented by the narrow bottom of the diamond, which leads away from the body. First and foremost, the ABC format pertains to the organization of entire documents. However, the same beginning, middle, end strategy applies to the smaller units of discourse, document sections, and paragraphs. This figure includes a memo report that conforms to this structure. The following sections discuss the three ABC components in detail. Document abstract, the big picture for decision makers. Every document should begin with an overview. Abstract is a brief summary of a document's main points. Although its makeup varies with the type and length of the document, an abstract usually includes a clear purpose statement for the document, the most important points for decision makers, and a list or description of the main sections that follow the abstract. As a capsule version of the entire document, the abstract should answer readers' typical mental questions such as, how does this document concern me? What's the bottom line? So what? Abstract information is provided under different headings, depending on the document's length and degree of formality. Some common headings are summary, executive summary, introductory summary, overview, and introduction. The abstract may vary in length from a short paragraph to a page or so. Its purpose, however, is always the same: to provide decision makers with highlights of the document. For example, assume you are an engineer who has evaluated environmental hazards for the potential purchaser of a shopping mall site. Here is how the summary might read. As you requested, we have examined the possibility of environmental contamination at the site being considered for the new Klinnesberg Mall. Our field of exploration revealed two locations with deposits of household trash, which can be easily cleaned up. Another spot has a more serious deposit problem of 10 barrels of industrial waste. However, our inspection of the containers and soil tests revealed no leaks. Given these limited observations and tests, we conclude that the site possesses no major environmental risk and recommend development of the mall. The rest of this report details our field activities, test analysis, conclusions, and recommendations. So in the example, you have provided the reader with a purpose for the report, an overview of important information for decision makers, and a reference to the 4 sections that follow. In doing so, you have answered the following questions among others for the readers. What are the major risks at the site? Are these risks great enough to warrant not buying the land? What major sections does the rest of the report contain? This general abstract or overview is mainly for decision makers. Highlights must be brief, yet free of any possible misunderstanding. On some occasions, you may need to state that further clarification is included in the text, even though that point may seem obvious. For example, if your report concerns matters of safety, the overview may not be detailed enough to prevent or eliminate risks. In this case, state this point clearly so that the reader will not misunderstand or exaggerate the purpose of the abstract. Next is the document body. Details for all readers. The longest part of any document is the body. The body is the middle section of the document providing supporting information to readers, especially those with a technical background. Unlike the abstract and conclusion, the body component allows you to write expansively about items, such as the background of the project, field, lab, office, or any other work on which the document is based, and details of any conclusions, recommendations, or proposals might be highlighted at the beginning or end of the document. The body answers this main reader question: what support is there for points put forth in the abstract at the beginning of the document? Managers may read much of the body, especially if they have technical background and if the document is short. Yet the more likely readers are technical specialties who verify technical information for the decision makers or use your document to do their jobs. In writing the body, we have some guidelines. The first one is to separate fact from opinion. Never leave the reader confused about where opinions begin and end. Body sections usually move from facts to opinions that are based on facts. To make the distinction clear, preface opinions with phrases such as "we believe that," "I feel that," "it is our opinion that," and the like. Such wordings gives a clear signal to readers that you are presenting judgments, conclusions, and other non-factual statements. Also, you can reinforce the facts by including data in graphics. Adopt a format that reveals the structure. The second guideline is adopt a format that reveals the structure. Use frequent headings and subheadings to help busy readers locate important information immediately. The third guideline is use graphics whenever possible. Use graphics to draw attention to important points. Today, more than ever, readers expect visual reinforcement of your text, particularly in more persuasive documents like proposals. By following these guidelines, which apply to any document, you will make detailed body sections as readable as possible. They keep ideas from becoming buried in text and show readers what to do with the information they find. The last is document conclusion. Wrap up leading to next step. Your conclusion deserves special attention, for readers often recall first what they have read last. Conclusion is the final section of the document, bringing readers, especially decision makers, back to one or more central points already mentioned in the body. Occasionally, it may include one or more points not previously mentioned. In any case, the conclusion provides closure to the document and often leads to the next step in the writer's relationship with the reader. The conclusion component may have any one of several headings depending on the type and length of the document. Possibilities include conclusion, closing, closing remarks, and conclusions and recommendations. A conclusion component answers types of questions such as what major points have you made? What problem have you tried to solve? What should the reader do next? What will you do next? What single idea do you want to leave with the reader? Whichever alternative you choose, your goal is to return to the main concerns of the most important readers, decision makers. Both the abstract and conclusion, in slightly different ways, should respond to the needs of these primary audience. Okay, we have reached the ending of my report. Thank you for staying tuned. I'm just going to give you a recap of my topic. So, we have the options for organization. We have the three options where option A is all about how to organize information for technical readers. Option B, organize information for less technical readers. And option C, organize information for all readers. We also have the three principles. The first principle is write different parts for different readers. Here we have an example approach, which is called a speed read approach that includes steps. Step 1 is to quick scan. Step 2 is to focused search. Step 3 is the short follow-ups. Principle 2, emphasize beginnings and endings. So in technical communication, we always need to emphasize beginnings and endings because busy readers expect to find information in predictable location without having to search for it. Technical readers have first choice locations for important information. These are the beginning of the entire document, the beginnings of report sections, and the beginnings of paragraphs. The third principle is to repeat key points. In this principle, we need to always use a strategic repetition of a major finding, conclusion, or recommendation that gives helpful reinforcement to readers. Lastly, we have the preferred format for technical documents, which we called the ABC format, where A stands for abstract, B stands for body, and C stands for conclusion. That is all, everyone. Thank you again for listening and watching my podcast video. If you have questions, suggestions, complaints, or anything, leave them in the comment section below. If you want to learn more about my topic, I have included the links for my PowerPoint presentation and Microsoft Word file. I have also included a link for my assessment below. Again, this is The Changing Talks, and I am Christian C. Adrales, telling you that the best way to change your future is to keep moving.